ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network. Welcome to Thursday night, and welcome to the Coach Dom Show. Coach G, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm here with Emma, Cadence, and Kenyon. I forgot his name for a second.
I'll tell you that for a guy that has, and I've known Kenyon for a while, a guy that has a big head, he looks way too small right now.
I'm in the very back.
We can see you, Will. We want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. The main thing is, we'll get into it. You're coming off a huge, huge win. And it was the big one that everyone talks about. It was the Battle of the Boot Heel. How did it feel to not just go out there and dominate, but put a shutout down?
It's always nice to get a goose egg. We jumped up pretty quick. I'm proud of our kids. We were able to rotate out some of our, like, DeMontes and get in a lot of the seniors and try to give them touches. We ended up going to 8-minute quarters at the end, so the game went by really quick. 54-0 at half, and then finishing at 54-0. I mean, there's nothing better than putting a new little plate on Mark's trophy. It was awesome.
Mark, we got to put you in on the spotlight now. How'd you feel about it?
He sent me a picture. He said, your trophy looks good in red.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
A low punch me, man.
I mean, here's the deal. Like, they beat up on us for a couple of years, so.
I think they won it, 3 in a row, and then you won it the last 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're going to relish in it for a little bit.
You know, it happens. I mean, you're up, you're down. But I tell you what, I did enjoy seeing all the smiles and all the pictures taken with the trophy. And that's why I made it, you know, because this is a big game. And, of course, Caruthersville and Hayti can go way back. What a rivalry. And to add that trophy to it even made it more special. And you can see all those happy faces when they win that trophy. So, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And the kids love it. I mean, it sits in our main office all year. So everybody, we can all enjoy it. The whole district can. It sits right in the main office of the high school. So they were excited to get the new plaque thing on there. And but just like every other week, we enjoyed the win for 24 hours. And then, I mean, we immediately started preparing for Kelly once we figured out we were playing Kelly.
Well, and, all jokes aside, Mark's a Hayti guy. I'm a Caruthersville guy. But the fact that Mark made that trophy, I still think is incredible.
Yeah, it's having something to symbolize the game, I think, is huge. It's like my hometown, they play for the jug. It's like an old whiskey jug. Rivalry games, especially ones like that, I think it's nice to have some sort of a trophy or a memento or something. It gives a little bit more fire. Definitely.
It really does, and there's no doubt that Caruthersville versus Hayti is always one of the most amazing rivalries in Southeast Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, when I came here, they blew it up, and they're like, "Oh, that's the game, that's the game, that's the game." And I was kind of like, every school I've been at has a rivalry. And then as we got close last year, it started to become. I went to the tea shop. People were asking me about it. I went to the grocery. I stopped going to Hayes. I'm like, dang, I don't hear about it anymore. I was like,
okay.
I'm sick of people asking questions. So this year I knew what to expect, and I didn't even go to Hayes. Or if I went to the tea shop, it was me calling it in and picking it up quick. So I'm glad we were able to do that in front of the home crowd. And it was awesome. I enjoyed it. The kids had fun. Cheer had fun, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like everyone, like you said, everyone had fun. As far as statistically, what can you take away from that game? Because you had a bunch of players that had some big numbers.
I'll be honest, we didn't really relish in the stats very much. playoff time changes your view on things. When we're in the regular season and we have blowouts and da-da-da, and it's fun. We wanted to get through that game healthy, which I think is why we both agreed to go to 8-minute quarters. And I'll be honest, we watched the Hayti game as coaches on our own, but we gave the kids Saturday off, and we immediately started watching Kelly. I think between the coaching staff, we've logged over 15 hours of film this week on Kelly, which if you know anything about huddle film, that's a lot. The kids are putting a lot of film time. So, yes, it was a great win. Yes, there was a lot of things. That pick where it was bouncing off Abe's back and then Monte ended up scooping it up, that was awesome. There was a lot of big, cool things that happened in the game. But I think our main focus has been since 10 a.m. the next day has just been Kelly.
Right, exactly. And it had to feel good to get some of the younger guys in there. I know Hudgens came in later in the game, and, just a few other players. Had to feel good to get some of those guys in there for the last game of the regular season before you head into the playoffs.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, those kids and even the kids we couldn't get in because of time constraints, they got it. It's good. You always if that's a lopsided game, you want everybody to be able to experience it on the field. That should be a goal.
In the end zone too.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, you did.
We tried to give him a fullback dive, and I'm like, all right, just run forward.
Right.
Simple.
Simple. Well, since we have
you think.
Go ahead.
No, we did our best. I think if we could go back, I probably would have changed the play call a little bit, but you never know. Maybe this week we'll be able to get him in. Never know.
You never know. Since we have some of our fan favorites, can we get another introduction from the kids back there?
I think they need one after last week.
No need to reintroduce myself. And I'm Kaden Swanson. Like I said last week, I'm here and I do cheerleading.
I'm Kenny Bogan, junior captain, center, and DN.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you again on the Boot Heel Sports Network and on the Coach Dom Show. Let me talk to the cheerleaders first. Kind of tell me about the emotions that you go through when you're watching a game with so much history between Caruthersville and Hayti, and Caruthersville winning that big.
I think it just gets everybody hyped on the sidelines, but it would make us more hype if they had a full cheer team that was really loud, because it's kind of fun if we get to compete a little bit with cheerleaders, but they didn't have that many this year, but they were still loud. But it just gets everybody more into the game and everything. When it's such a big game and the atmosphere is big, there's a lot of fans in the crowd, so that was good.
So, just for those that may not think, they may think about the football players more than the cheerleaders. Cheerleaders compete with the other cheerleaders, especially when it comes to volume and crowd hype. How does that work for you? What do you do to get the upper hand on that?
Really, you just gotta be loud, be steady, calling the cheers, and get everybody hype. And if the crowd, if the fans are arguing the stands, and that's the best time to call a cheer, because then they're gonna scream it and they're gonna be loud. But they don't yell back at the cheer if they're not hyped. Then it's kind of boring if they're not gonna get into it. But when they're into it, it's really, really good.
Yeah, and that's why I'd say the best part about cheering at a game like that is the whole crowd is kind of focused on the cheerleaders because the score is so high. And so whenever we do a crowd cheer, they all get involved with it. And it all
So obviously, the Battle of Boot Heel is probably one of the favorite times to cheer. How do you transition from that game, which is the regular season game, to now into the playoffs against Kelly tomorrow night?
Well, I I mean, I think we're going to still keep the same energy, same vibe. We're performing again at halftime tomorrow. I mean, this is, to us, honestly, this is probably bigger than the Hayti game because, I mean, this is like more competition. And I'm sure they will have a full squad out there. And, I mean, we just want to do our best. And
we just have to go harder, just like the football players do.
We got to get the boys more into it, too, because, I mean, they're going to be on our sideline this week right beside us. So we need to make sure they're hype and focused. We got to make sure they stay focused. There can't be a distraction to them.
That's a great way to put it. Kenyon, go ahead.
Put a fence up.
Kenyon, what kind of go ahead, Mark.
Emma, is your future going to be in politics? Or are you going to be a public speaker?
No, I'm a sports broadcaster, honestly. Like, I really thought about it sometimes because, like, I know my facts and I'm good talking.
Hey, that was my major, and I love it, so I recommend it.
And, like, I kind of stopped thinking about that career path until last week when I came on here, and I was like, oh, my God, I love this. I love this. Now Kenyon wants his turn to talk, and I'm not going to be too loud.
Well, I will say I do appreciate both of you coming up to the booth and saying hi to me. That was just so you had to say we were the ones that were on the show with you, and I appreciated that. Kenyon, can you kind of give me just kind of an idea, a thought of what it was like on the sidelines as you were playing against Hayti and going up that big so early and the crowd going nuts?
It was amazing. When I was younger, I was used to seeing my brothers lose to them, of course. So that drove me farther to want to put in the work and beat them every year and get that trophy back. So it was amazing seeing my cheerleaders do good and hear after the game that they did good in the halftime. Just feels good after all and getting that trophy, you know.
Well, and I don't have the stats in front of me at this moment, but I know you had a big game because we called your name quite a bit last Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Kenyon on that.
Try to do my best.
Well, you did pretty good. I'll just say that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You got to keep the whole team involved, you know.
And I think that's a great way to put it because it felt like it was an entire team effort to get the shutout and to win the Battle of Boot Heel and reclaim the trophy or keep the trophy.
Yes, sir. Everybody be a joy. It's going to be good.
Coach, I know that we talked about this before, but you said last season that was one of your main goals was to beat Hayti. Now you've done it 2 years in a row. Does that give you any more? I saw that, Mark. Does that give you any more? Does it make you feel any better or more like a Tiger, or how do you feel about that?
I think it increases the pressure every year the more you win it. And 2 years in a row is awesome, but like in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, what's Hayti roster look like next year? What's our roster look like next year? And we're talking about a rivalry where you're representing both towns, and it's a town-on-town rivalry. It's like I told the kids, it's bigger than the game. The pressure of next year is going to be higher than this year because we want to make it a three-peat and hopefully continue bringing the trophy home and it being kind of a mainstay at Caruthersville. So year one, the pressure was I didn't know what the pressure was going to be. Year two was, shoot, we're 5-3 and we're undefeated at home, and now we have Hayti coming in and they're well coached and it's a rivalry game. And next year it's going to be, well, shoot, we got to go to Hayti and defend the trophy, and we'll be in hopefully the best football position that we are now. So I think every year the pressure kind of changes and the mindset changes.
I'd have to agree. Before we get into the big game tomorrow night, is there any one thing that really stuck out for you against Hayti that you want to take away from that game moving forward?
I think I'll give it to both sides. I mean, we were the stronger team. We were the better football team, and our team performed well. And one thing I'll give both sets of kids is even when we got up big, there was no pushing and shoving and bickering and any of that garbage. Both sides kind of kept it respectful, and I think that's huge in a rivalry game. And there's always going to be some trash talking on the field. That's football. But we're talking really, truly respecting each other's football players. And then even as coaches being like, look, it's 54-0. You're running clock. Like, let's just shorten it out. Let's get the kids out nice and healthy and da-da-da-da. And I think it took a lot on both sides to really come to a clean, like very lightly penalized game and to come out healthy and no pushing and shoving and no after the whistle stuff and a respectful handshake. And I think if our communities kind of model that, we'll be better off.
That's a great way to put it. And that's actually something. Go ahead, Mark.
I got one for you, and we kind of can go right into the game with Kelly. There were 7 turnovers in this game, I believe, by my last count. Hayti had 5. You guys have 2. So you did turn Hayti over 5 times, but you also turned the ball over twice. And I'm sure that's going to be something that you guys are working on this week. So how do you go about not doing that in the playoffs and getting the mindset back right to not turning the ball over? And, it's playoff time now.
Well, I think our first turnover was an interception. That's 100% avoidable. That's repetition. Like I told you guys, we have powder puff football going on, so that's why we're in the press box tonight.
They keep distracting us. Come support us Monday.
Powder puff football game. Da-da-da-da.
Starts at 6.
Starts at 6.
See the QB1.
So, I mean, if our center didn't snap the ball 15 yards over the quarterback's head.
I know. I messed up. I know. I take that. I know that.
He can learn from his mistakes.
And I honestly think when you get up on the team, you start to get a little sloppy. And that's a mindset thing. It's almost avoidable. It's really hard to avoid when you have a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds out there. But, like, the interception was avoidable, and there's no way to pinpoint. Everybody thinks the interceptions are always the quarterback's fault. It might have been Ryan's fault. It was Gray. Kenyon snapped it over Ryan's head. He learned. He got yelled at. But I think it's a good question because your focus has to switch. When you're up 54-0 and you can be a little loose and whatever, but now it's win or go home. Like, we either win or like Kenyon said, either win or win. Like, we lose tomorrow, I'm collecting equipment on Monday. Like, that's just the fact of life. So I think your whole mindset has to change. And we put some things in that are going to be a little expensive for them. It's playoff football, so all stops are out, and we're going 100 miles an hour trying to get ready. And we actually had a really good practice on Tuesday. We had an average to above average practice on Wednesday. We had our best walkthrough of the year today. Like 0 drop balls. So I think we did a good job of switching that mindset as the week went on.
Well, see, that's what we're looking forward to here now. We're less than 24 hours from kickoff. So after, we've got the Battle of the Boot Heel out of the way. Now it's playoff time. Now it's Kelly. Kelly comes in at 6-3. You guys are 6-3. Let's talk about it. What have you guys done to prepare for these Hawks?
I mean, they're an eye football team, like that power eye football team, tight end attached. We're talking 21 personnel type stuff. They're gonna try to run the ball down our throats. Their quarterback can throw. He's got an arm to him, so that'll be something that we're gonna have to look out for too. They're big up front on both sides. We've had some common opponents. We've had some film on them all year. It's nice when you get to see film on common opponents because you kind of know what that opponent did. And their game plan was against this and this and this. So there are no slouches. I mean, you don't win 6 football games by accident.
Right.
But that's a good football team, and we defensively, I think we really have to buckle down and be very gap sound against the gap. Their guards tell us where they're going. I think for us, we have to. It's probably going to rain, and we're a natural grass surface, so it's going to be a little muddy out there. It's going to be wet. It's going to be sloppy. So we're going to have to be very assignment sound. We're going to have to protect the football. We're going to have to be very, very detail-oriented in our passing game, making sure that we're doing the right things and taking care of the football. Especially in the playoffs is very, very key. You have to start with good field position. These guys already took our sideline, so that's going to be a change for us. Like they're going to be, and they think it's going to be better for them. I'm going to be honest. I'd probably rather be on our home side, where all the away teams usually are, than having the Baldwin backyard crew back there.
They're gonna make sure they hear it, and we're gonna make them nervous.
They're very highly spirited Tiger football fans. I mean, shoot.
Backyard bleacher bums.
Backyard bleacher bums.
They won a shout out last week.
Yeah,
they're great. I love them.
You know, they're awesome, especially when we're doing well and they're not like yelling. But
is this?
They think in their mind it's like, okay, we're going to be away from the home stands. Well, an official can kick somebody out of the home stands for being crazy. You can't kick Kim Baldwin out of her backyard.
Nope.
Exactly right.
It's in the backyard.
Yeah, especially when the Hopkins Field sign is basically on Baldwin property. So I don't see how that's even a better option. But hey, you do you, boo. Like we'll be all right.
They're clueless, but they don't learn. They don't learn real fast. They don't learn.
Crazy.
But
Honestly, I don't remember the last time that the Caruthersville team was on the home side sidelines.
Well, the away team has the option. If we do not have an away sideline or an away set of bleachers, they can choose which side they're on. So they chose, and I'm like, okay. Like, it doesn't matter to us whether we have the Baldwin crew behind us, they're Caruthersville people, or we have the Caruthersville people behind us. Like, we've got fans on both sides. We're good.
Right.
I mean, I will miss our sideline. Are very nice. We'll have a little bit more room this week, so that'll be a plus.
You don't like it over there?
It's all right. It's getting too muddy.
Yeah, it gets a little muddy over there. So, hey, silver lining. It changes kind of our routine, but hey, the cheerleaders are going to be close to us, so we'll get all of their fighting spirit.
That was like probably the most sarcastic thing I've ever heard in my life. Hey, but trust me, I'll make sure we don't distract the football team. That's the last thing I want to win first.
So either way, it doesn't really affect us very much. So hey, they still have to come to Caruthersville.
That's right.
They ain't gonna want to come back.
See, that's what. There we go. Finally, little bit of a spirit, little shout out there. I like it. I love the enthusiasm.
Make them regret it.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, Kenny didn't read the prompts. You're not allowed to talk prompt.
I'm so sorry. I was reading comments.
Girls.
My mom's very supportive too. Thanks, Mom.
That's all right. We're like I said, we're less than 24 hours away from kickoff. Let me get to the cheerleaders first. Are you guys ready? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
We're ready. I mean, this could possibly be our last time playing on the field, which we thought was going to be last Friday, but our boys did good enough to get us to be able to get a home field advantage this week, so that's great to have another chance to be out here at Hockey Field. So, I mean, we're excited for that.
I agree with Emma.
Oh, see, I didn't know if I needed to.
Just took the words out of my mouth.
Okay, what about Kenyon? You excited? You nervous? You ready? You pumped up? What's up?
I'm always a nervous first couple plays, but after that, I'm always good, locked in. I'm always excited to play on our field, of course. You know, do what I gotta do, get the W.
All right, Coach. How about you? What kind of butterflies you got going on?
Last year we got bounced. We've made some major strides programmatically this year, and I'm looking forward to being home in the playoffs. And I'm hoping that we put the boys in the right position to bring home the playoff W at home. And there's people looking in the
He's a
window.
little nervous. We got some watching.
We got some fans peeking in the window.
They would be on the show too, I guess.
So, but I always have butterflies, and the kids think I get cranky game day.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk,
They-
to him. Don't talk to him on game day.
So apparently, yeah.
Flag.
Yeah. So I always get anxious regardless of who we're playing. I have confidence in the boys this week. We've got a good game plan together, and it's time to play Tigers football.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Football. He finally said it.
I know. It took a half an hour, but there it was. Before we go and before I close it out, Mark, you got anything left to say before we head into, like I said, less than 24 hours, Caruthersville versus Kelly, first round of the playoffs?
I just got to put Kenyon on the spot. Kenyon, who's your favorite coach between me and Don?
No comment.
Wait. I'm in there too. I coached him too.
You coached him too. Hey,
I coached him too.
You did good, but no comment, didn't you?
Yeah, no comment.
He
See-
put the fifth.
Now, Coach, best of luck to you tomorrow night. I'll be 5 hours away, but I definitely will be communicating with Jeremy. So I told you how I felt before when we was off air. So best of luck to you.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Any last thoughts before we go play some Tiger football tomorrow night, Coach?
Hey, the boys are ready. I'll be ready about 7 p.m.
I hope so.
Kenyon's got something to say, so he can wrap it up.
Can you come on in?
Y'all know me. We gotta get the job done, anyways. But I'm sorry, Coach Mark, but that trophy stand will be my senior year.
Hey, I'm glad you like it, buddy, man. I'm glad you enjoy it.
You heard it here first. Kenyon Bogan on record saying the Battle of the Boot Hill Trophy stays in Caruthersville 3 years in a row.
3 times.
That's right. Well, Kenyon, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. Girls, once again, it was a pleasure. Sorry you didn't get to talk as much as you did last week, but I'm sure you'll have another chance at it.
We love it here, but yeah, it was a little slim tonight. But
That's all right. We're all focusing on Kelly tomorrow night. That's what everyone needs to be thinking about. Well, I look forward to seeing all three of you on the field tomorrow night. And Coach G, best of luck to you. And all I can say is good luck. And I got a good feeling, and I think the entire town's got a good feeling about the game against Kelly tomorrow night.
I think they froze up there, buddy.
Yeah, we're froze.
Freeze frame. There they
Oh,
go.
we're back. I don't know how much of you caught, but anyway, I wanted to thank all the three student athletes for joining us, and then Coach G, again, good luck tomorrow night. And I look forward to talking to you after the game on the field after a big old red W.
We lost him again, Jeremy, but
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
get him out here. There you go.
There you are. Yeah, I can hear you, but I think it's still froze a
Now
little.
you know what we go. Now you know what we go through on Friday nights up there in that booth.
Yes.
we're bugging a little bit.
Shoot.
All right. If I can get this in real quick, to all of you, good luck tomorrow night. Can't wait to see it.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, coaches.
You're welcome. Thank you.